In the last video, we created an N8N automation that populates this Reddit posts Airtable so that we can answer posts from one centralized dashboard instead of the Reddit website. In this video, we'll create an N8N workflow that grabs the answers that we post in our Airtable, and based on the brand, we'll automatically post the answers to Reddit. This works from a dashboard where we are going to click on this button, answer Reddit posts. We'll click the go on the same line, and this webhook will connect us to our N8N workflow. This go button will send our automation the argument as well you should, and then the automation will open up Reddit posts, and it will look for any fields where the status is equal to post, and it will post those for us to the given subreddit conversation based on the ID of that conversation. I said in my last video that it was based on the subreddit. That is actually incorrect. It's the Reddit ID. So every post has an ID on Reddit, and this is it in our table. And we will respond to the post that has this ID with our answer. This is the answer Reddit. You can see a summary here of what it does. It accepts the input from Airtable. It validates the input. Then it gets answers from the answer column from the Reddit posts table, where the brand is equal to the brand that we sent and the status is post. Then we post the answers according to the Reddit ID of the conversation. We mark the status of the answer as posted, and then we mark the dashboard with a timestamp to say that we're done. So the webhook accepts the incoming request, and we use a using respond to webhook node to either send error messages to the browser that opens when we invoke the webhook. We also set up constants, ensuring that we don't have typos, so I can refer to this constant by a variable name, a constant name, instead of typing out these words. The first thing that we're going to do is open up Airtable and get the record associated with the webhook record ID. We're going to invoke the test URL of the webhook that we get from the webhook node here, and we'll concatenate the record ID in the first column, we'll concatenate the task ID in the first column by calling it the record ID. So when our workflow receives the data, it will look for record ID in the query, and it will get this value on the row that we clicked. So the webhook receives the data, and it gets a query parameter of RECR9, and that's RECR9 is on the answer Reddit posts row. So now we know to open up the Airtable and ask for the row with RECR9, and that'll get us our brand that we are interested in posting. So the Airtable says, give me the task record where the record ID is equal to that RECR9, and we get back a brand of as well you should. Then we validate the input, which is just a question of, is the brand one that we know, as well you should, Carol report, does it exist at all? If this comes back with a message that is an empty string, then we know the data is good. And if the message has data in it, then we know that the data that is a problem and we need to fix it. So our message came back empty, and so it's valid data. And then we ask, is it valid? And we get, is the message length greater than 0? Then it is a problem. No, it's not greater than 0. So we come down here and we close the window that got opened. So I'll just pin all of this. So now we're going to get all posts in our Reddit posts table where the status is post and the brand is as well you should. And back in the Airtable, here is our as well you should brand and a post, and this is my answer. And importantly, this is the Reddit post ID over here in this column that we are going to grab along with the answer to create an answer to the Reddit post. So we go into a loop. First, I'm going to run answers, and we get this one item, which is the same one we just looked at in the table. So the loop says, while we're on the loop path, we're going to decide, is this brand or this brand, which is actually the Carol report, because the connection to Reddit is based on your login ID. So with this connection, my persona is Best Red Light Therapy, and that's the avatar under which I want to post. Under this one, we are the Carol report, which is also my username on Reddit, and we want to post the Carol report answers under that name. So we take different paths. So if the brand is equal to as well you should, then we go to the as well you should Reddit. And if it's equal to the Carol report, we go to the Carol report Reddit. You can see the constant here that I was talking about earlier, where instead of typing as well you should, I reference a constant, which I just drag in. If the constant contains the spelling without any errors, so it's easier than typing too. So we will pin, can't pin that. So now we'll go to our Reddit and we'll create create a post. So this is going to be the answer from Get Answers, and this is the answer, and this is the post ID from Reddit. So we'll execute previous nodes, and these will now show up. So there's our 1145, and this is my answer here. When we execute, we get back, one of the things that we get back is the link to our answer, which is here. So you notice how that just says /r/red light therapy. So we're going to put http://reddit.com in front of this, and then we'll have the full URL, and we'll store that in our Airtable. Now we're going to pin that, and we'll click on posted. And what that does is it goes to the Reddit table, and it says, here's your permalink. So now we can click on that to see our answer posted. And then we wait so that we don't overload Airtable. We get our next answer, and then when we're out of answers, we go back to the task table and we give it a little message just of the timestamp so that we know that it's finished. If we go back over to our table and we say where it's posted, this is an unfortunate fact of red light, that's the one. So we'll go click on the Reddit reply link, and there I am 2 minutes ago. This is an unfortunate fact of all light. So there's my post to this Reddit post. That's my answer to that Reddit post. So this is how you invoke the answer Reddit posts workflow, send it data, and then post to Reddit using an answer that's stored in a table, change the status of that to posted, and that is how you automatically post to Reddit from Airtable using N8N.